Well, that's one of the days. Does anybody have any questions on the minutes?
I don't.
Well, it's pretty straightforward, as I read through it. Make a motion that we accept the minutes as written. Got a second? Got a vote?
Aye.
All in favor? Passed. Alright. The next is the campground draft. It's scheduled for our next meeting, not this one. And we're looking at a different way to go about it. Open land and lots. We had 7 phone calls in the last week and a half. People looking to buy land in Scriba. I don't think that we're getting the value for our land, and that's my own personal opinion. But if you got it, I think it was on Sunday, there was a news clip on TV about the value of lands going up 68% with Micron. So, you know, you're sitting on good land, it's valuable, and a lot of loopholes you gotta jump through. So I just wanna bring that to it.
Dan, what was the nature of the inquiries? Like, was it for business, for residential?
We've got a, one for the, VFW. We got some for, Kennedy's subdivision where Sue lives. They've determined that the lots are too small for what they want to put in there. But it does have city water, which is an advantage.
And sewer.
And sewer, and, 53 and Dutch Ridge out in that area. There's a couple of inquiries for out there.
Residential.
That's all residential,
All
with the
residential.
exception of, it's on 104 now down there where the trailers are. They want to expand their property, and they originally wanted the back of the veterinary clinic out there. There's 3-point-something acres out there, but they want more. So I don't know where they are at that, they haven't heard from them. And a lot of these people they don't live here.
They're coming in.
They just, they see an opportunity to get land cheap.
I attended a forum on nuclear energy, and it was hosted by the state senators, both ours and then up north, Balzic and Ryan,
Yeah.
Barkley. A lot of folks came in. Constellation was there. We were talking. One of the presenters was Rob Simpson, who's the CEO of Center State CEO, which is the economic development arm for Central New York region. He indicated that after the news that Micron broke ground officially occurred, within that week, their website had an increase in traffic of 41%.
Wow.
So those are businesses looking at,
More land.
Central New York. So it's coming.
We need the residential, but we also need people that are taxpayers, businesses that are taxpayers. And not that I'm against the IDA, but, I don't think that you don't get what you get with taxes. And that's the purpose of it. So, subdivisions, I think if we can get a few in there, that'd be good. And I think that with Micron, you're gonna see some interest coming from Onondaga County. So, you know, they're looking. So
Well, put another point on that as it relates to this forum. The reason the forum occurred, of course, the state governor last year said she wanted 1 gigawatt of new nuclear power in the state. Then they had, in June, they released what's called an RFI, Request for Information, from communities, from vendors, from owners and operators of nuclear facilities, and everyone in between, wanting to know what their level of interest was in developing, hosting, and then developing and operating a nuclear facility capable of producing 1,000 megawatts. The response they received was such that during her State of the State address, she said, not only are we gonna have 1 gigawatt, I want 5 gigawatts of nuclear power in New York State. One of those gigawatts is being managed, so to speak, by, I believe it's through the Public Service Commission, the other 4 are through NYSERDA. Right, so the point is, there were 8 communities that expressed interest around the state, and primarily upstate, in hosting a nuclear facility. Scriba is the only facility that is ready to go now to build another facility. So the chances of us getting another nuclear power plant in Scriba, New York are very good. It was said, I didn't say it, one of the panelists said it, it's not a question of if, it's when. So again, we want to be ready.
It's what the talks have been out to the thing. It's not a thought that it's gonna happen.
So,
And being that it's green power's even better yet,
It might put the solar
which is good.
projects a little bit at bay too, maybe.
No, there's no carbon footprint.
Right.
None of that. That's right.
I mean,
well, the state continues to kind of the solar project.
right,
So they're
right,
gonna
so that
continue.
kind of, yeah, that's kind of a,
But they are generally restricted to certain locations. I mean, everything just has to be just right for them to develop. I mean, we've sat through enough of those presentations. Gotta be close to the connectivity. You gotta have all the environmental aspects set, and you know, those take time to find. And then you have to have willing property owners that want it on their site. I mean, the neighbors are certainly a concern too, but you have to have, because many of these projects aren't being purchased, they're being leased.
Well, it's something to think about.
And there is plenty of property available out
at the plant.
at the plant for at least one more.
Oh, yeah.
You know, man,
Oh,
It was
yeah.
listed-
Oh,
At
yeah.
least one
Oh,
more.
yeah.
there was
Right.
9 scheduled for that,
Okay,
9 mile point.
okay.
That was the original design.
And they're talking 500 meg apiece,
Um,
or don't they know?
There's different, so getting into it a little bit deep, but there's some
Sorry.
small modular reactor models,
We were
SMRs.
talking about going across the road.
Those are generally 300 megs, but they can daisy chain those together to make them larger. They could put those off-site, they don't have to be there. The technology is still emerging. I don't believe Constellation wants to be the guinea pig in the SMR field. They want it built first, know that it works, and then they'll
They don't
probably
want
jump
another
in.
2 on there.
But they're the nation's largest producer or and operator of nuclear power, of all electricity, but nuclear power in particular.
Well, I think it's something that we need.
And I think what they're talking about here is the 1,000 megawatt, EWR.
Yeah.
All right, everybody else have thoughts on that? All right, next thing, we got a couple of things here. Kevin,
Oh, yeah.
Sue penciled in for me. The air.
Art.
The lake shore.
Art.
Yeah.
They're asking for variance. They've got their, Article 24 permit from the state. They got the Corps of Engineers, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
They need variances on both sides. And they don't want to ask for neighbors.
I sent them that letter
They don't wanna get their neighbors, they've been involved too much. We don't wanna do this. What do we do?
For the workshop?
No, that's gone. They moved that, by the way.
Okay.
I forgot.
A lot of properties down there are raising their foundations
Mhm.
to get them out of the flood situation, so.
Makes sense.
I don't know, are they expanding the footprint of this?
It looks like, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I
think we sent you a copy.
no, you did, but I guess I wasn't aware that they don't wanna involve their neighbors, but
Anymore, they don't wanna
bother them,
but
because they think they're gonna say no.
I don't know,
Maybe they do.
that shows a red flag to me.
Yeah, I think they have, I think we've gotta put them through the process then, and, you know, at least hold a public hearing for it. Put them on notice, if they show up, fine, if they don't, maybe that's, you know, silence is consent, I don't know.
Did they expect the town to
Well, we
mail them the consent form or the?
No, I sent them, the
Susan,
consent form is supposed to be attached to the variance request, never is. But anyway, I send it with a letter, and what they have to do is get the consent or descent from their neighbors, notarized, and sent to, in return, before we'll act on any variances. Okay.
Very good.
now,
You were wonderful.
about
You're the
our
best.
friend with this, the workshop on the Lake Shore.
Yeah.
He doesn't wanna go through the DEC PS. So he's moved on to 53,
Oh, that's been discussed.
and this,
Yes.
But
he
now
bought
this-
7 acres out there.
He's moving from,
He's moving the shop out, it's no longer an issue
good for him,
on the Lake Shore.
but he's still gonna be living down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's all right.
Yeah, he's the
so, they,
head of the
do you want
HOA
me,
down there, isn't
I sent it to you, did you wanna respond to him?
I'm happy to.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
I have an update on Bert, if you're ready for that.
Might as well.
Spoke to Mr. Burritt today. He wants to keep the site plan, application open. He's not, attending tonight, nor did he send any, on his behalf. I don't think anybody showed up on his behalf. He may have an alternate, location that, for the sports complex. He's exploring the possibility of keeping the car detailing portion of the business in some, on that land in some form. Obviously, it'd be a smaller footprint, and, it's, I guess, to be continued. He knows that, we weren't prepared to make it a decision tonight in any event, but in the interim, he's exploring other options. But he doesn't want to withdraw the site plan at this point, he wants to keep it open. You know, put a lot of work into it, particularly the stormwater pollution prevention plan, whatever goes over there, even if it was a parking lot, for instance.
he? Still need it.
That data is still relevant, so he wants to keep it open, at least for, you know, at least another month, and we'll update monthly.
If we go past the 62 days,
We,
we can extend it with the agreement for.
mutual consent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, in fact, what I would say based, and I'll get this in writing from him, but based on the conversation we had today, that would be the consent, so the clock stops at this point.
Okay.
And we just hold it open. You know, if he comes up with something completely different that makes all the research and data they put into it meaningless, you know, that's on him. But there's a lot of good data that he's developed already from his engineers and planners that, you know, could be relevant to a future project.
He never paid his $500.
No? Okay.
And Dan sent him a letter. That was the application fee.
And if he didn't continue with the sports complex and did the detailing, will the house go?
I believe the house is going to go one way or the other.
I thought it was gonna be your question, so I figured I'd ask it for you.
I appreciate that. May I speak?
You may speak whenever you want.
Okay, thank you. So, some news has come to light after some additional research in the last week. With the Oswego County Historian, Historical Society, etc. We've dug into some papers. That house has more historical meaning than I had originally thought. Not only was it built by the only black man in Scriba and his family, and he lived there, but we've measured it out to quite likely that house was used for the Underground Railroad.
Yep.
And, it's very exciting. It's just so exciting, but I'm grieving at the same time. So the last few days I've been just like, oh my God, have we already signed off on this or whatever? And what are the options? And I've gone through the whole gamut, and I've talked with people the whole gamut. Obviously, the best scenario would be to protect this house. And if it wasn't at that location, at another location, to move it, to do something. And this house has really been on my mind probably for the last 5 years before I even took the historian's job. And I didn't know why, except I found it intriguing who lived there. It's very close to where the Abolish family Clarks lived, very well-known family. That whole area, there's a lot of information, and this gentleman's name appears on at least 3 lists of abolitionists who decided to sign their name. That's big.
awesome.
And
Black
that,
man.
pardon me?
The black man that lived there?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What was his name?
Thomas Robinson. And that makes it pretty reasonable to more than assume. I mean, that's gone on, so I think their measurements are 0 to 4, and I think this makes it a 3. Very likely, very likely. We have no definitive information, but very likely that house was used in whatever capacity, whether it was the barn, whether it was the land, whatever transportation, whatever it was, this family was involved. That makes that house involved, at least according to the professor that conducted this research. So I don't know, I don't have any answers. I just wanted to make sure that you were all kept informed, because I know that's one of the things that we talk about, right? Any historical value. And this one just, it's jumping out.
Have you shared any of this with Rich Burritt?
I have not, I wanted to come here first for advice.
You know, if you were that close, why don't we get a placard that goes on that house?
And it would save the house.
No, it doesn't, no.
Not
No.
anymore?
No, yeah, a national registry, sure,
Yeah,
that takes
yeah.
years to do. Mr. Barrett isn't gonna do, this isn't years, and so, yes, eventually you could, that it was here, but I'm not interested, honestly, just being straightforward in what was there. I'm just not, I mean, we can do that, of course. But a National Historic Site also has other implications. You can just have a Pomeroy sign that says, you know, who lived here or whatever, and that's fine. That takes a lot of work, but we can do that. But I want the house.
Do you know what it would take to move that house?
Yes, I researched.
And where you would put it?
Yes, I have ideas. I know this is so naive. I totally, but here's the thing that Kelly actually taught me. If you don't ask,
You're not gonna know.
you don't know.
Did you find anybody to pay for this?
I actually, so it could be upwards of $100,000.
Oh,
Yeah, it could be. I don't have that in my budget or anything, but I would like to at least explore the possibility that someone would be willing. You know, if somebody is willing, if Rich is willing, if the town of Scriba is willing, because there are projects that have been approved, you know, close to 30,000 that could be on hold for another year if this came up, if this is something, but I also understand, let's say you have site prep, you have all that, and you've got the house there, let's just say all that happened. There's maintenance, there's all these things that have to happen, and so I'm not naive to say that I don't see that. I'm just saying I have a vision, and I don't know how this works. We don't have a preservation group here, or conservatorship, anything like that. And I was thinking if I knew anyone who had a whole lot of money, a name did come up. There are people to contact, you know, you obviously have to sell the importance of this, for the town of Scriba.
Couple of things, we don't own it. And if you put a grant to do something with it, that would be in Rich Burrett's name, wouldn't it?
You know, he has to sell us the house.
He would sell the house
He has to
for
sell us the
a
house.
dollar or something,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
You better talk to Mr. Burrett before he takes bulldozer to it.
Well, like I said, I kinda came here for advice, because I didn't wanna overstep my position and or, what,
I don't think it has anything to do with us, really.
Very nice guy.
yeah, he is, yeah.
How far are you thinking about moving it? How many miles? Or not even?
2 or 3?
Okay. Makes a difference.
The hill of it makes a difference.
Makes a big
The whole thing is like, you know,
I
I'm
know.
trying to be a realist.
My first house was brought out from the city of Oswego. It was brought out to past Woody's, actually the private town line. It was a church rectory. My grandfather worked for the church. And they were doing an addition to the church, and this is where the priest lived, and he says, Dick, how do you like this house? Oh, it's a nice, fine house. You wanna buy it? Sell it to you for $1. One stipulation, it's gotta be moved in a month.
And those are all the things, yes, that's.
It got stuck for a month on the hill where the speedway is. Cause it had to go up
Interesting
that
vicinity,
way because
right?
of 104. I mean, just think about that.
I know.
It got towed by a team of horses. So I know they can do it. If they could do it back then, they can do it now.
So if, let's just say if we could, like, if we're talking about this, so everybody's recommendation is to first talk to Rich and to see what he's willing to do.
See how long he's willing to hold off,
Right, yeah, that's pretty much it.
because
That gives you a time frame.
he could say, we're gonna move on this next week.
He could, and the other part, he has reached an agreement, right, with all of us that I could go in and take photos or whatever. The other part of it is really sort of somewhat inspecting the house to see if it's going to be worth the move. But prior to Rich having it and being empty or whatever it's been for 3 or 4 years, the Cruels took very good care of it, very well maintained. So all right, so I just need then, maybe Sue, you have a direct phone number for him that I could get from you at some point?
I can
Kevin,
You, okay, all right, thank you.
share it today, so.
All right, thank you very much.
could you
That's
share
good.
that
Good
with
news.
Rich to
Yeah,
kind of
oh yeah, for sure.
soften the blow?
It's interesting though that he's saying the sports complex, he's looking into a different spot.
Yeah.
When he said that the detailing was gonna pay for the sports complex, so if he puts it in a different spot away from the detailing, then I don't know how I mean, it's not our business,
Right.
it's his business, whether it's economically feasible to him or not, but
The smaller
just-
footprint.
it's.
The much.
It's just interesting to me that he's looking at a different location without the detailing. He said that the detailing was gonna pay for it. Was that wasn't gonna be money?
It's all up to
But like I
him.
said, that's all up to him. It's just,
It's
it was just a
input.
little bit of a comment that in my mind, I'm wondering
What's actually
what
going on?
what makes sense financially.
Another thing that we gotta look at too is the, sales tax. I think we request that.
For the adventures.
The adventures, yeah.
Yeah. I
He said he
haven't
already had, I asked him about last time.
Yeah, I haven't received an update since the last meeting. That topic didn't come up in the conversation today, but I can follow up with him. It's been applied for, the designation.
It
To
is.
switch, oh yeah, it's in process with the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance.
He said that when he was here, Rich
Yeah.
did say that when he was here, that it was in process.
We're not gonna get anything on.
But he's making deliveries out of there, and that's a,
The boat place and
It's,
the
uh,
vehicles.
If he gets oil delivered there and he sells it from there, it should be taxed from there,
From there.
that's,
not the city.
that's the way I read it, without a call to DMV on that side of it, because cars and recreational vehicles, the motorcycles, snowmobiles, boats, is separate from the car side, and the rules are a little bit different, so. But, it does say in there, delivery dictates where the tax is paid. Remember, years
Well,
ago,
when we only had to
when
pay
everybody lived in a
4%,
swiggle,
right?
and bought all the cars in Scriba because it was 4%.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I had a lot of cars in
There
Scriba.
you go.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's a work in progress. Calvin, local law go on to 23.
Yeah,
Can we get the Cliff Notes version of that?
yeah, so,
The title of the law is, for everybody.
it's a development and escrow agreement. Generally for projects that we kind of size up during probably a sketch plan or even when it first comes in. It allows the town to establish an escrow agreement with the developer to say, look at, we're gonna have to hire engineers to review this. We've got legal review, we may have an environmental issue that we've gotta deal with. We're gonna need outside help, so we're requiring you, as a condition of your site plan application, to provide us with a $5,000 retainer. And that, with that retainer, we will go out and hire our own professionals to verify what you and your developers or professionals are saying, right? So I only offered that based on the discussion we had at the last meeting about the potential traffic impact and particularly as it relates to the City Line Road project that Bert was proposing. In anticipation of all that, I even reached out to an engineer and said, hey, would you be interested in being hired by the town to review the plans that we've been presented, because, we're not engineers. And, so all that was in the works, and that's why I circulated this, because there was some talk about it, and I said, well, the town board has adopted a law, we can utilize this. Hasn't been formally utilized yet, I mean, the closest we've had to it is Solar Liberty.
Right, wasn't this when because of the solar project
I think-
previously, that we kind of got this into the works?
I think that, probably some of Novellis's projects, when they had all those 3 or 4 projects that they were, developing. So yes, it's been developed, we haven't utilized it yet, but that's why I suggested that this Burt project might be one where we actually
Could use it.
utilize the local law.
So it's not just gonna be industrial, it's gonna be commercial as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For any, I mean, if
Residential as
residential subdivision
Subdivision, okay,
that, wants to put in a 10 or 20 track housing
Unit.
development, right? We can ask them to
Okay.
establish an escrow account that we would draw from to pay off our professionals.
engineering of the roads.
Legal, engineering,
Underground.
environmental, all of that, right? And if the project continues and you've depleted that money, they gotta re-up it,
Come up
right?
with
So it
more.
depends on the project. I mean,
It's just one more thing we got to work with.
we'll certainly utilize it if, for instance, a nuclear power plant comes into town, or some other
Code
spin-off,
there.
of Micron comes in, and a widget factory wants to set up here, or warehousing facility, whatever it might be.
There are talks of, more industry ramping up in the central New York area
Oh,
It has
because
to.
of it.
there's no doubt
The
about
turning
that.
point was the Amazon deal. With the Micron, I mean, it's, like you said, the internet had to blown up.
Yeah, the
with
multiplier,
inquiries.
just general numbers, the multiplier effect for, Micron project, when it's fully built out, employs 10,000 people, an additional 40,000 in indirect jobs.
Support.
Yeah.
For support services, everything from, you know, new convenience stores, supermarkets, to housing tracts, to warehousing, transportation, logistics, all of that. 50,000 additional jobs that all come statistically with about 2.3 people tied to it. So the population of central New York is going to increase over the next 20 years by over 100,000 people.
Mhm.
And they all have to go somewhere. And they're not all gonna be living within 5 miles of Micron.
I'm not gonna be working in SU.
So, yeah, there's a lot. It's big. There's a lot to this. We'll likely be utilizing this local law more in the next 5 to 10 years than, you know, we foresee now.
I've heard there's talks down in Cortland of businesses going in lieu of Micron,
Yeah.
or not in lieu of, but because of Micron.
Right.
We tried to tell the school districts they've gotta start planning ahead too.
It's happening now.
They're
You-
not,
Yeah,
some of
Hopefully
them
you
are,
get influx of
some of
kids.
them maybe, but some of them aren't, I
For
think.
the influx of kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just take a drive down 31, go up to the mall and drive to 81 and just see all the development that's happening between 481 and 81. It's
It's nuts.
pretty staggering.
You're gonna, a lot of the people that work in those industries, they look at their school districts.
yeah.
They're not gonna go to Syracuse. They're not gonna go.
They're not gonna stay in Cicero.
They're not gonna go that direction,
Yeah.
because they're not gonna
No,
put their kids
they're
in
gonna go
that
outlying
environment.
areas.
Absolutely.
Not that our school districts are any good, but
Well, they are,
I would beg to differ.
technically, I think, at least.
okay.
I would beg to
But-
differ.
this is all speculation.
Yeah, but I've seen
That's
it.
what we gotta talk about.
No, it is something that, you know, plan or be planned. It's,
True.
you know, we're gonna have growth, we want regulated growth. So, that-
Anybody that went to Charlotte area 20 years ago can see exactly what happens.
yeah.
Tennessee now,
Tennessee has been for a long time, actually. Car plants.
All right. Anything else?
was our list, right?
That's it.
Are we recessing this meeting then?
Yeah, we're gonna reconvene.
We were doing that, and then we weren't, now we're doing it again. It's
Well,
on the schedule,
it was-
it's got second meeting.
The second meeting was gonna be independent
I know,
on
but
zoning.
we've been approving minutes and stuff at the second meeting,
Yeah,
so
we're gonna-
which way do you want it?
We're gonna recess until further notice.
All right, motion to recess,
Second.
so we're
Aye.
Oh, wait,
recessing
a question from
to
the audience.
February 25th.
I came here for the zoning concerning the campgrounds and whatever was gonna be planned for that. My concern was, part of the fishing,
Why don't you come the 28th, and we're gonna just discuss it. All right? Primarily tonight was gonna be the public hearing,
25th.
Right.
whatever, I don't.
Well, why don't we at least hear what his
Right,
question
let's hear his
is, and
question
then,
at least.
Sure,
and
go
then,
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm part of the fish community, I'm a local charter also, I live in the area. I know a lot of people come from out of state that instead of getting a hotel room every weekend, they bought a piece of property and they have a camper. I mean, some of my very good friends, same thing, they live out of state, they come here on the weekends and they have a small piece of property they've bought, they've maintained, they pay taxes on. And the concern is where is your zoning gonna land for them? Because it's
We don't have
fishing and hunting and four-wheeling and all that is a
We're not gonna
huge.
touch,
There is no zoning.
There's no zoning in Scarlet.
And there will be nothing on one camper per lot. That's.
Cause that's my concern, I mean, I just wanted to address that, it's a big benefit for the community is the people that come from out of state and spend their money here every weekend,
Absolutely.
and a lot of it.
that's all right.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
When are you gonna put up cabins?
What am I?
Uh-huh.
I don't have the cash for it.
Working 2 jobs, you don't have cash for it?
It's 3 if you wanna put it away.
Okay.
Al,
Revisiting the public hearing for my project. 1,
That's where we're gonna change, what are we doing down, there's a change down there.
The building size proposal was out in December for a building size change. And we asked for a public hearing in December, and we were told no because there was already 2 public hearings. And then in January, it was not discussed, and then 2 weeks ago, I mentioned it, but the meeting was over. So I'm
I
bringing it
think
up.
that the discussion we had was that when you had your permits in place, if your, Article 24 permits,
There wasn't any discussion about that.
I was
but
just,
maybe you
I was
guys
just
had some
talking about,
privately.
maybe you were recording me, as frequently as you do. We'll put you on the agenda for March.
The agenda to talk about whether to schedule a public hearing, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
What is, clarify what this is for.
we're gonna have
Project
a.
number 1.
I thought we,
No,
I
This
might,
is-
I,
4 went into 1.
I might be mistaken, Kevin, it might be 2, I can't.
it's two.
It's
My
2.
brain's not working right
It's
now.
the
which one's
dormitory, yeah,
Listen,
2.
389.
we had 1 and 2, whichever one
It's-
got approved first,
Right.
you were gonna draft the other one. If I remember correctly,
Absolutely.
Yes,
alright?
that's what you said.
So
Maybe that's not what you meant, but that's what you said.
So the ball's in your court, you want a new application,
I am absolutely not dropping any of these applications.
that you made changes to it.
For 2 now.
This is 2.
I made changes to it because you guys said that my wetland delineation didn't match my map. So now it will match my map.
Now it does.
Now it does, and that also changes the dimension of the building I'm asking for. And I did that because you said that you needed to have another public hearing because too much time had passed. So I said, well, if we're gonna have a new public hearing, then let's have something to talk about, and I'll make the building larger.
So we're gonna get a new application, or
We've
a
already gotten a new
revised,
application.
we're gonna get a revised application,
You've already gotten it. You got all of this back in December.
do we have it?
You know,
I got something.
I believe.
We got another one, but I thought you just said.
Well, let's put it on the agenda
I think it's
to
2.
verify.
it is 2.
What is it? It's 2.
It was project 2 of 2025.
Yep.
And you had that all taken care of last meeting, I do believe, Alan. And I think we put it off to this meeting to put it on the calendar, if I'm not mistaken.
What are we doing?
What do the minutes say?
What are we doing? Oh, there was no, this wasn't discussed at the last meeting. It was after the meeting, correct?
It wasn't discussed at the
Right,
last two
that's
meetings.
why it's not,
That's why
you're
it's
not
not in the
gonna have
meetings.
anything in the
Not in the
minutes.
minutes,
It was discussed
because,
at the December meeting, we requested a public hearing be scheduled and we were denied. And the reason we were denied is because there was already 2 public hearings scheduled. So it was
Two for
implied
you,
that
there
it
were
would be
3
discussed. in-
There was
scheduled.
3 scheduled, and,
Two
and
Two
again,
for me.
2 for
Two
you
for you.
plus another one, yes.
So it was
And
implied
And
that. you
then I
revisited it
asked
in
the
January.
question last meeting to you was, do you have all your paperwork? And you said yes. And that's when we said that we would get them on the schedule, I thought.
For what?
Still waiting for a DEC.
He's got it.
you got your Article 24 permit.
I do not have it in hand. It is in its final stage.
Okay.
There's a draft of the Article 24 that's bouncing back between Mike LaSalle and the DEC. I anticipate in the next 30 days or so I'll have it. Which certainly wouldn't limit you guys from having a public hearing, and it certainly wouldn't limit you even from taking action if you so desired, but. I'm just,
Well, actually, we already
I'm
adjourned.
15 months into trying to get this project approved, so I'm just trying to encourage us to try to keep the ball rolling forward. It's awful difficult to do anything in this town for some reason.
Well, that is your opinion.
That is my opinion.
Hey Al, why did you wait till we recessed to
I
bring
know,
this up?
we recessed this meeting, so this is just.
We didn't recess this meeting.
Yeah, we
Yes,
did.
yeah, we
No,
did.
you asked for a second, you never voted on it.
Yes,
Yeah, we
I
did.
got it in the,
I had my hand up the whole time.
You can't
you
do
don't
it.
vote.
I had my hand up for a question before you ever recessed, is
Well,
what I'm
I
saying.
wasn't
I
watching.
heard you say, let's recess,
Yes,
and you stopped the meeting for this gentleman over here to talk,
Let's stop right now.
and I'm
Stop.
talking right after that
Stop.
gentleman was talking.
Stop. I recommend that we open this meeting back up. Just do what I'm saying. All right, I want to reopen the meeting. Go ahead and second it.
Second.
Sorry.
In favor?
Aye.
I recommend we put Mr. Chase on the March agenda to discuss two. Chase Project 2. At 6 o'clock. And if you've got everything then we'll schedule a public hearing.
Second question. You said that you have a draft of a camper law, proposed camper law.
Nope, not yet. And we will shortly.
We have examples.
We've got examples, we don't have a draft.
You
We don't have a draft.
Okay. I hear you.
We were going to work on drafting.
It was on the agenda tonight to talk about it, and the only thing that was said is that there's a draft and that you're going to approach it in a different direction.
We are,
but there is no draft.
But there is
no draft.
no draft, so there's not any, none of this is being discussed secretly and being written down.
No, we don't do anything secretly, all right?
That's a ridiculous.
It's certainly a
Let's adjourn this
strong,
meeting, recess.
Yes, we're back to.
Second, for recess.
Second, yep,
well, we're good.
aye.
Okay, Kevin, how did the local law number 4, 2025 make it into a law without anybody ever seeing it, including the town board or this board? Or being made available to the town clerk? You know that's true. It was made available to no one in the public and it was voted on as a public law.
You're
But
absolutely
nothing
wrong.
secret
Talk to-
happens
talk to your-
in this building.
Maybe he needs a
thinking finger.
Nothing secret happens.
You know what that is?
But we vote on laws without anybody ever seeing it.
I was initiated right in this room.
True story.
Well, I appreciate you not showing all of us the thinking finger.
All right,
For tonight,
Well,
anyway.
that's better than the town board did, right?
Oh my gosh.